Well, hello, everybody. My name is Ann Pofscher, and welcome to Funny You Should Mention It. And have you been wondering what's going on with the Cabot Theater? What's new? What's coming up? What's been happening? Funny you should mention it, because my guest today is the CEO and president of the Cabot Theater, or the Cabot.
That's me.
And welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on my show.
I'm going to have a great time. Been looking forward to doing this.
Super. So, do you want to just tell people what is going on schedule-wise?
Sure. So we started construction on June 15th. Just as a little side note, I started on April 1st, so it was quite a whirlwind to walk into. So June 15th, we closed the doors. We started construction. We had a target date of September 15th to reopen because we had Steve Winwood that day.
Yes.
We managed to get everything inside the theater done. So inside, we redid the dressing rooms for the artists because it's really important that the artists feel comfortable when they come here. We had old, dingy dressing rooms. We had no showers for the artists.
Who knew?
Who knew? And I mean, and who knew you had to have showers? But you do. So we did that. It's gorgeous up there now. Everybody that comes says that they want to just live there. And we also added a new member lounge downstairs, which is really it's just a nice place to come before the show, and it's quiet and you can relax. And our sponsors, we can entertain in there. So that inside was all finished. Outside was another story. So we're basically taking the building back to how it would have looked in 1920 when it opened. We're embellishing it a little bit, but a lot of people I know were upset that we removed the marquee.
Yes.
But that marquee was an original to the building. It was actually blocking the rose window that you can see there now, which was the original architectural feature. And when it was the Ware Theater, there was the Blade sign like we have on there now. It's called the Blade sign. It says the Cabot, except then it said the Ware. So we really kind of mimicked that. We're adding also where the marquee used to be an awning out front to cover the door, help to protect from the weather, but also historically accurate. So that was the idea, is let's take this building back and restore it to all of its beauty of the 1920s. And so that's what we did. And we should be done, 100% done, middle of January. I don't like saying dates out loud, but I'm
Right.
feeling confident in that one. And it's just been exciting.
Well, we're all excited.
I'm glad.
And the 1920s is a fabled time.
Especially here.
Of good times.
It's just before bad times, but yeah.
Yeah, just before. But
Hopefully we're not foreshadowing anything
That's-
like that.
that's right. Well, we're not on a hamster wheel.
No, I hope not.
And I am very excited for 2026. What do you have coming up?
2026 is going to be a great year for us. We have Diana Krall, which I'm really excited about. Yeah, we've got, we have some really exciting shows, but one of the problems of being in my position is that I know what these shows are, but until we get the okay from the agents and the artists and the managers, I'm not allowed to say. But we have some announcements. I'm not sure when this is going to air, but we have some announcements that are going to come up in the next couple of weeks that I'm very excited about. We have David Foster and Catherine McPhee coming. It's a fantastic show. David Foster was a big producer in the 80s, produced for Whitney Houston. If you could think of Andrea Bocelli, incredible
Yes.
producer. And it's just a wonderful show. And, his wife sings. He'll have some guests with him, and they do all of his hits. There'll be some opera arias, which I know isn't for a lot of people, but it's a magic moment. So the first time I saw that show with David Foster, I was in programming at the time, so I would bring the acts in. And the gentleman that I was working for, this was at a theater in Palm Beach, Florida, brought in, said he's bringing in David Foster. I said, nobody's going to come to that. Why would you book that show? And so we sold it out. And it ended up being my favorite show of the year. And since then, every time I have the opportunity, even if it's not one of my shows, I go and see that show. So we're excited to have him. And as I said, Diana Krall, and a lot of, some great tribute bands coming in. So it's just a really exciting time.
So don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And you got to keep an eye on, Wednesday emails come out. If you're a member, you get early access to tickets. Sometimes, especially with some of these artists that I'm not allowed to talk about, being a member is going to be the only way you're actually going to get a ticket, because they're going to go fast. Just like when we had Steve Winwood, same kind of thing happened when we had Lake Street Dive. Same thing. So you've got to be a member, or at least be on our mailing list so you know what's happening.
Yes.
But then also we have some great movies, some great films that are coming up for the holidays. We have Love Actually coming in. We have National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, The Muppet Christmas Carol, which in my opinion is the best Christmas Carol.
I'm going to be there.
Fantastic.
So I'm going to ask you about membership, but I think I'd like to get to know you first.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me a little bit about your background?
All right. So
tell me a lot about it.
I'll tell you too much about my background. So, I actually started in this business as a lighting designer. So I went to school for scenic design, because the high school I went to, we didn't have lights, so there was no lighting design there. But when I got to school, to college, there was this whole other field called lighting, and it used computers, and I'm a little nerdy. I love computers, so I got to get involved in that, and I just fell in love. So that's what I went to school for. And then when I got out of school, I went to New York. I worked on Broadway for a little while, not as a lighting designer, but as a follow spot operator on Cats. Seen Cats 400 times. That's a punishment for something. I don't know what I did.
Well, I didn't see it once.
That's a blessing. No. It's funny. I make that joke, but I actually love the show.
Yeah.
And I'll still occasionally listen to the soundtrack. So I did that, but realized quickly that I didn't really want to be in New York full time. My family was in South Florida, so I went back to South Florida. I became a technical director, production manager, as well as doing lighting design. And I was happy. I loved it. But then I got married, had a daughter, and working those hours as a production person, when I'm not exaggerating when I say 12, 14 hours a day for 2-3 weeks at a time without a break. And I said, I'm not going to miss my daughter growing up. So I was just lucky enough to be in the right place and the right time to move into programming, which, as I mentioned, is bringing in the artists and negotiating the contracts and everything. It's a really weird move from somebody to go from production to programming. Yeah. But like I said, I had some great people in my life that believed in me and gave me the shot. So I was able to do that. So I really thought that's where I was going to, what I was going to retire as. I worked at a great little theater, 300 seats, a lot like The Cabot. Not in looks or anything, but it was an old building that was going to be torn down. And a group of citizens came in, rescued it, and it ended up being just a tremendous gift for the community, and it was very involved in the community, and I loved that. But then I ended up going to some bigger theaters. I worked at a theater called the Kravis Center, which is a big 2,000-seat monster of a theater, great theater, beautiful. So I was programming there for a while. Then I got offered a position as vice president of programming at another really big theater in South Carolina called the Peace Center. We had 5 venues there that I would program. And while I was there, I kind of decided, you know what? I think I want to go to what's next. I don't just want to bring the programs in. We didn't have a very robust education and outreach program there, and I really missed that tie to the community. Yeah. Both of these big theaters were very important to the community, but not, I always say they weren't of the community, if that makes sense. And so I decided I wanted to be a CEO somewhere. And it's a rare move to go from programming to being in the chair, right? So most people come from the development side, the fundraising side of things. So, but I found The Cabot, or I should say the Cabot found me. The recruiters called me, and I just kind of fell in love. I came to see the theater, and it just had the energy that I wanted. It had the community support, and it was of the community. So I said, this is it. This is where I want to go. So I told my family, and luckily they supported me, and here we are. I could say it's been, especially today, just server notes, today is that we're filming this is Friday, December 5th, and it is about 12 degrees outside.
Yes.
It's big change from South Carolina and South Florida before that, but I'm getting used to it. And,
I'm not.
but that is not encouraging. I was hoping this just becomes old hat. So no, you don't get used to it.
No, well,
how long have you been here?
almost, my whole life, but I lived in Austin, Texas for a while.
Okay.
But no, I'm joking when I say I'm not used to it. It's,
I hope so.
you just wear warmer clothes.
That's what I found.
And you get a better hat.
You get a better hat. I need to get a hat. I don't own a winter hat. I haven't needed one in a very, very long time.
Yeah, so you're going to get to pick out some.
Maybe we'll get some Cabot winter hats.
I would love that.
What are they called? Are they toques up here? What do we call those?
I don't know, ski caps?
Ski caps,
No,
okay.
they just call them.
I know toque, I think, is a Canadian thing.
I think they just call them hair hiders. No, they actually
ear
don't-
warmers.
Yeah, they don't call them anything.
Okay, just hats.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, well, you're a wonderful presence at the Cabot.
Oh, thank you. I've really enjoyed being there. I have a
And,
great team, a lot of great volunteers, such as yourself. And it's been a great place. The whole experience has been fantastic.
And the Cabot is also off Cabot?
The Cabot is also off Cabot.
Can you tell us about that?
I love Off Cabot. So Off Cabot is our small. I was just realized my phone was out. Sorry. Off Cabot is our small, intimate space on 9 Wallace, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful venue. It actually used to be the lobby to the Larkham Theater.
The lobby.
Yeah, but before the Magic Company sold that, because the Magic Company that owned the Cabot also owned the Larkham.
Okay.
So before they sold the Larkham, they split that building up into 2 different buildings. So we have this Off Cabot. It's beautiful wood panels everywhere, and we do comedy there, as you
Yes.
well know.
Yes.
For everybody out there, Anne is a brilliant comedian, so make sure you check one of her shows. But we do music, singer-songwriters. It's a great place to do Christmas parties or weddings, whether it be the ceremony and the reception or a rehearsal dinner. So it's this gorgeous, intimate space that really you're never more than 20 feet from the artist. And we've got some great talent that comes through there. And again, there's a great staff over there. It's very welcoming. So I urge everybody to just check it out, see what's go to thecabot.org, see what's happening at Off Cabot. Tickets are generally very inexpensive and well worth it. I've not seen a bad show there yet.
Yes.
Of course, I have to say that, but it happens to be true.
And they hold the improv classes there,
The improv
too.
classes, if you're interested in improv, a wonderful improv teacher. The groups actually perform live, and those shows are hysterical and very well attended.
Yes.
And it's just a great program.
And there's one group improv hang a night where you don't have to be in the classes, and I go to that.
You just
I'm sorry, I didn't mean a night, a month.
a month.
Yeah.
And
Yes, it's cold.
so you do and you just show up and you riff with other people.
Yeah, and you can sit it out if you wish, or take part if you wish, and
Yeah, I really encourage people to do that, especially if you think you don't have the talent or the aptitude, or you've wanted to try it. It's an easy way to come and try. It's a great supportive community.
It is.
Everybody that comes there, and it really is that in improv, it's the yes and mentality. So everybody there is very yes and
Yes.
it's just a warm place to be. So and warm is important as we're coming into the winter.
I'm very excited about a show coming to Off Cabot. Duke Robillard.
Duke Robillard.
He was Duke and the Drivers for people who go back as far as I do.
20 years?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, I have no vanity anymore. 40.
40 years. That's okay. I was talking to somebody the other day, an old friend that I used to work with, and I said, we were reminiscing about something, and I said, oh, that was 30 years ago. How is it possible that anything I've done in my professional life was 30 years ago? But it is. Time flies.
It does. And, another thing that I haven't done that I'm a little sad about is I've never seen a show on Broadway.
You have to go see a show on Broadway. But I'll tell you what, the thing about Broadway now, which is why it's so great that we have the Cabot right here in Beverly, is the cheapest ticket for Broadway is going to be $150, $200, and that's sitting in the nosebleed section. Now the shows are incredible, but yeah, tickets, it's an expensive business. So we hope to start some of the future plans that we have at the Cabot involve, it's a 105-year-old building, and some of the systems, the theatrical systems, are 105 years old.
Yeah, okay.
So we're working on really bringing in some new equipment and some new gear so we could do more of those kinds of shows. And so we could bring them in here so you don't have to leave Beverly to see a Broadway-type show. Now, will it replace seeing a show on Broadway? No. Everybody should do that at least once. But
I'll try.
Maybe I'll see if I can arrange a Cabot trip, and we'll all go and we'll take a bus down and see a show and have some dinner and jump back on the bus.
You would make this girl very happy.
That's a great idea. I'll make sure that everybody knows it was your idea.
Yeah, so they can say, But yeah, I would really like that. But there is a Broadway caliber show coming, isn't there? I'm having like a brain freeze at the moment.
Yeah. To us, or you meant
the one-man show?
Yes. Chaz Palminteri of Bronx
Tale.
Thank you. Literally, thank you for reminding me of that. Literally, it was a Broadway show. So that he'll be here in February, I believe. And it's, if you know the movie Bronx Tale, it's Chaz Palminteri on stage, the guy who starred as I can't think of the character's name. This is the gangster.
Yeah.
And it's incredible.
It is.
A great show.
Actually, I saw it last year, or was it 2 years ago?
A couple years ago, I think. Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And you will not be disappointed.
No, it's worth seeing. Definitely worth seeing.
Very moving, and he plays every single character with dynamism.
Yeah, and it's all a true story, which is the thing that's now. I'm an Italian kid from New Jersey originally, so I actually know some guys like the guys that he talks about. Nobody in my family, but they were around.
Yeah.
So that's why it's really exciting.
So it's relatable.
For me. It's relatable. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hopefully, the characters that are relatable are not the ones with the guns or the bats, but.
Yeah. Well. I don't judge.
You don't judge. I think there's certain judgments that are okay to make. Don't use a gun, I think we could say.
All right. And so I won't ask you about any.
You can ask me anything you want. I'm an open book.
Well, are you going to have any more movies with actors?
I'm afraid I can't comment on that.
All right.
No, I'm just joking.
Comment.
When you say movies with actors,
like The Princess Bride had Carrie Elwes.
So definitely that was incredible. That's one that we're looking at. I want to be careful about repeating too many things.
Yes.
And some of these, we try and be, although people might not agree with what I'm about to say, but we try and be cost conscious with ticket prices.
Yes.
The ticket prices are really determined by how much we have to pay to bring the artists and the acts in. So some of these shows, we were looking at bringing in Chevy Chase to do the Christmas Vacation. But the fee was so astronomical. The ticket prices were going to be somewhere around $120. So we decided to pass on that. But we're looking at bringing in Napoleon Dynamite, which might have some actors with it. Just recently, we tried to bring in John Cusack, but just our dates didn't line up. So the answer is yes. We're always looking at those types of shows. I like them. I think they're a blast. Especially you mentioned The Princess Bride with Carrie Ellis, and it's one of my favorite shows. I'd go see. I've seen it twice, and I'd go see it again.
Well, I finally saw it at the Cabot. The Cabot.
I mean, that was the first time you saw the movie?
Yeah, it came out in
Wow.
'86, I believe, and I was working full time. Very hard, and I didn't go see the movie. And I finally, when I did, I got to see the star.
Yeah, that's a way to see it. That's the way to see it. He was just charming, and I'm curious how much. So, for me, I loved it, but I've seen the movie. If I say 50 times, that's probably less than how many times I've actually seen it. So when he tells the stories, like I could imagine the exact scene, and I knew exactly what he was talking about. Did that resonate for you when he was talking about making? I mean, he talks about Andre the Giant, and that's really sweet.
Yeah, I don't know how much resonated, but I was still enthralled.
Okay.
But I didn't know the catchphrase. My name is
Inigo Montoya.
Thank you.
You
I'm glad
killed my father. I won't do the accent.
Yeah, I didn't know that catchphrase, but now I see it more than you think.
Yeah. Well, and the other one that you'll hear a lot is you keep using that word. I don't think it means what you think it means. Because there's a guy who keeps repeating the word inconceivable.
Oh, right. Inconceivable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited about what's going on. It's our gem. The Cabot is our gem. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about the benefits of being a member and the different kinds of memberships?
Sure. So we have memberships that start at $60, and then they go up to they go high, but you get different perks. So with some of the higher level members, you get opera box tickets, which we don't sell those seats, so the only way to get them is to become a member.
Okay.
But a lot of that too is just altruistic people who believe in the theater. So they give it those levels. But even at the lower levels, which are great for us, you get free movie tickets. We have free member events that we'll do. You get popcorn when you come to the theater. But the most important benefit, other than supporting the Cabot, is really early access to tickets. So when we announce a show, we'll announce it to members. We announce it to everybody on Wednesdays, generally. And the show goes on sale to the public on Friday morning. But if you're a member, you can buy tickets starting Wednesday morning. And that's just for some shows. Like I said, that's the only way you're going to get a ticket. We just put, oh my gosh, how am I blanking on the name? Lyle Lovett and John Hyatt on sale. So that was a show. By the time it got to the public on sale, there weren't a lot of tickets left. So a lot of people maybe got left out of that. The same thing when we had Steve Winwood. That show was almost all gone before the public on sale.
Right.
So that's the biggest perk to membership. And we're currently working on wrapping some benefits in from off Cabot. So right now we don't have benefits that extend to off Cabot, but we're trying to figure out how to do that and how to, we want it to be a real benefit and not just lip service to a benefit. So we'll be announcing that pretty soon.
It sounds like you love a lot of art and culture.
So it's like I said, so my background is lighting design. So part of being a lighting designer really is just I spent a lot of time in museums looking at paintings to get an idea for how color works and how people see light. So I mean, I love everything about it. We do have, we'll bring in some art. We have actually a beautiful photography display in the Cabot right now. For those that don't know, that's kind of, the Cabot's right behind us over there.
Yeah.
And so we try and partner with other organizations, like we just partnered with Historic Beverly for the Ken Burns American Revolution series, an incredible series. Abby Battis, who's the executive director over there, managed to secure the film, a public screening of the film, the only one in the entire country. You could have seen it on PBS, but if you wanted to see it in a theater, you had to be in Beverly at the Cabot. And Abby had arranged for that. And the way that she did that is 26 of the paintings in their collection are used in the film.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's just a great collaboration that we did in a way that we reach beyond just, what's on the stage. And then, again, as a light designer, I love dance. It's one of my favorite things to light. We don't do much over there, but again, as we kind of update the theater, the technical aspects of the theater, we'll be able to bring some of that in. And so we really want to make it as diverse programming as we can. And by diverse, I don't just mean culturally, I mean genre-wise as well. So rock and roll one night, classical the next night, movie the night after that, maybe a little Broadway. So we just want it to be, my goal really is for the Cabot to be, it already is, but I want it to be even stronger as the sort of cultural center of the North Shore.
Ooh, that would be amazing.
I think we're on the way there.
In a way, it already is.
In a way, it already is. But we're gonna make sure that it continues to be and strengthens even more. We're gonna have a lot of announcements coming up over the next year or two about more community outreach programs that we're doing. A lot more educational programs. Right now, I have a wonderful educational program called In Focus, and I know In Focus, the kids actually have a podcast that films right here, and this is students from 6th grade through 12th grade, and they come in and they learn every aspect about the film industry, how to write a script, film, direct, act in it, and we really see these students kind of coming out of their shells and learning how to communicate and work with everybody in a cooperative way. It's a great program. And the thing that we're most proud about in that program is that we provide it completely free of charge. We never want circumstance to be an obstacle to an arts education. So that's something that we're very dedicated to.
That is important.
Yeah, yes.
And one thing I am finding is that these times it is easier for people in all different circumstances to take part. Together.
It has to be now. It has to be. I mean, it's art is just a place where everybody can come together.
Yes.
And it doesn't matter, race, creed, color, anything.
Yes.
It's just we can all get behind beauty and fun. And also, I think that's the other thing is there's art which is culture and art, and then there's just fun, and that's important too. Just a place where you can go and sit with a bunch of other people and forget about everything that's happening in the world for a little while. I've always said that I'll stop doing what I do the first time I sit in an audience and the lights go down and I don't get that kind of excitement for what's about to happen, and knowing that I had some small part in, for at least for the next 2 hours, making these 850 people kind of forget about the world and just enjoy themselves. It's been a gift throughout my career that I've gotten out of this.
That's great. And so I think we've covered a lot of major things. So can we cover some things that I'm just curious about?
Sure.
Like, what is some of your favorite art museums?
My favorite art museums? Well, so there was a little art museum. I used to work at a tiny, I mentioned the 300-seat theater, and right across the street there, they built a parking garage. And as part of the funding for that, they had to open but it was started as a community center, but it really ended up as a gallery called the Arts Garage. Okay. And incredible showcases there. They did, it's just avant-garde stuff mainly from the community. We also at that building, at that theater, we had a museum called the Cornell Museum. And we had a curator there that just brought in just the most eclectic. We did a show that was all based on paper, so not like paintings on paper, but like paper folded into sculpture or
Yes.
paper. Just it was great. So I've loved that. There's another museum in South Florida I loved called. I will say this: other than the PEM, which is a great museum,
Yes.
I've not been to any museum since I've been here. It's been not just because there's not enough time, not enough hours in the day. But the Norton Museum was another great museum. And obviously, when I lived in New York, we would just kind of go gallery hopping down in the Village
Yeah.
or, the Met, which, some people know if the Met, they ask for $20, but you can also just give them $1 and go in.
Oh,
So,
that's fair.
yeah. So what about you?
Well, maybe it's sentimental, but one of my favorite museums is in Cologne, Germany. It's called the Ludwig.
Okay.
And I went in there at the age of 29. And I've never forgotten it. There was just modern art in there that blew me away, just entertained me. There was actually sculpture in there that looked so real. It took a while to figure out they weren't real people looking in the gallery. It was just amazing. If you're ever in Cologne, Germany, and you love art, go to the Ludwig. The other one is...
We'll make sure that they know that you gave them that plug.
Yeah. I follow them on Facebook, or I thought I did. The other one I love is the MoMA.
The MoMA. MoMA's great.
In New York.
MoMA's great.
I used to...
What's
Go.
funny about MoMA? The MoMA Museum is great, but just the gift shop there, I could
It's
spend
great.
hours just in the gift shop because they have all of these sort of industrial design products that are they're beautiful in their own right. So yeah, but the museum, they've got some nice things in there too, Jackson Pollock or whatever.
Well, gift shops. Isn't there a book called This Way to the Gift Shop?
Yeah. Or they exit through the gift shop.
Oh, well, I don't
yeah.
know. It's significant.
Yeah.
There's one of the things I love about living is there's so much I still don't know that I can learn.
That you can learn.
And I want to learn about the joys of the gift shop.
Just bring a credit card.
I also love, I also love museums in Baltimore. I used to go to Baltimore a lot.
Okay.
To visit a friend, and
I've been to Baltimore, but I don't think I've ever been to a museum in Baltimore.
they have a museum dedicated just to people, primitive artists.
Oh, okay.
I consider myself a primitive artist. I'm self-taught.
Okay.
And
okay.
actually, I used to have shows. I was an artist before I was a comedian.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But I was in the newspaper a few times, and I was called an emerging artist.
Well, so what was your style?
I painted in acrylics, mixed media, and actually I found beautiful broken things on the streets of Beverly. And I used to walk a lot, so I would even walk over the bridge into Salem. You wouldn't believe the things that trucks and cars run over and make them gorgeous.
So I think Beautiful Broken Things is an incredible name for an art show. So I think you need to get back to that.
I'd like to. I've been walking around like, 15 years ago I would have picked that up. Maybe I should get my collection back again.
I think you've got the idea.
So I made some beautiful things. Not to brag, but I made some beautiful things. And they got snapped up.
That's good. That's good. So if you have any, your next podcast, you have to put them up here.
Maybe that's what's needed. Although some beautiful broken things are heavy. And I don't want to rip the curtains, but, that's a great idea. I should hang around with smart people.
Yeah. I think my skill is being able to reflect things back to people.
Well, that is a great skill. And maybe that is so profound that we can wrap it up. If there's anything else you'd love to say.
Thanks for your time. This has been a lot of fun. I walk past BevCam almost every day going from our office to the Cabot, and I've been in here a bunch of times. It's my first podcast in here. It's fun, and I get to talk a lot, which, as my daughter will tell you, is too much.
Oh, well, that's their jobs, to say things like that. So anyway, thank you all for joining me. This is funny you should mention it. Over and out. See you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.